Hey, welcome back to the NerdJock Gamer channel. I'm Harbinger50, and this is the second shoulder exercise video. If you've been keeping up with me, the first one I did was the Arnold presses, where you have the weights here, and you bring them above your head. Now, this video is going to be released like probably the day after or something like that, whereas I actually just did that exercise, so I'm a little tired already on the shoulders. So from here on out, I'll probably just use some lighter weights just to show you what I'm doing. And I'll just do the sets with the lighter weights. So what I'm going to do now is, let's do the front raises. We're going to do front raises for the shoulders. And, you know, if that's not clear enough, it's just going to concentrate on the front of the shoulder head, as they call it, or the front head. I think there's 3 heads. And again, always have a good reference book. Obviously, there's a lot of information in this one. But this is not just about the exercises. You know, it's got some information, some history of how, you know, Arnold's background on his exercises. And it also has information on, like, the competitions where he teaches you actually how to pose and flex and things like that. But, let's see what they say about the front raises. They do a lot of the cable work and the barbells in here because they're, you know, basing this out of a full gym. There we go. Front dumbbell raises to develop the front head of the deltoids. There you go. So, and he's got little pictures and shows you standing and sitting. So again, good reference material. I highly recommend that. Or, you know, there's endless supply of manuals out there or exercise books and tips and things like that. Granted, you really don't even have to buy them. You just go online and find a trusted source. Alright, so we're just going to go straight up and we're going to alternate. So there's 1, 2, 2. And remember to breathe out when you're coming up. And breathe in when you come down. You want to breathe out like you want to exert all your force as you're lifting, and that includes like the breathing force. And it does kind of help. You know, you don't want to, and maybe at this point for me it's more psychological than it is physical, but you kind of feel that extra oomph as you're pushing out with your breath. And that's not to say that you have to go, you know, like the gym rat, the crazy power lifters that love to get the attention. You don't have to do all the screaming like, oh, yeah! You don't have to do that. You really don't. Just a nice deep breath. I don't even know how many I've done. So I'm gonna stop right there for a minute, catch my breath. Some of the gyms, if you know about them, like Planet Fitness, they don't allow that. They call it, in their very ironic way, they call people that do that lunks. You know, like they have the string tank tops. Basically, Schwarzenegger would have been a lunk because he was probably in there grunting and screaming and dropping weights, and you know the string tank tops and stuff like that. They have a term, and it's called lunk, and they have a lunk alarm. If you drop your weight or something, it senses goes off, big old siren. Which is, the ironic part is that they're called the judgment-free zone. Think about that for a second. Yeah, so it's kind of ironic, I think, but, or hypocritical. Both, one or the other. Take your pick. But yeah, it's kind of funny. Like, I've been to another gym, Fitness 19, they didn't have any rules, and, you know, guys were in there doing that stuff, and there's young people, there's old people, there's fat people, there's thin people, there's in-betweens like me. Doesn't bother us, you know. They tended to be nice guys. If you needed a spot, they'd give it to you. If you asked them a question about what they were doing, they'd answer. So there's nothing wrong with those guys. You know, I just, you know, personally I think they're trying to get a little attention, but maybe that's just how they were trained. So take it as it is. I never felt like anybody was judging them there or judging me or anything at that gym. Whereas it's kind of, there's a different vibe at the Planet Fitness I go to. It's kind of, I don't know, like everybody's watching everybody else to make sure they're not falling into that category of lunk. But, I mean, overall, it's a good gym too. nice and cheap, 24 hours, depending on where you are. And I got the, they have the $10 membership, and then they have a $20 black, which lets you, you know, if you do the sun tanning, you can do that. They have a hydro massage bed thing, massage chairs, and then with the black one, you can actually, with the black membership, you can actually go to any of their locations across the country and just be like, hey, here's my card. Whereas with the $10 one, I think you can only go to the one specific gym where you signed up. All right, I'm gonna do 2 more. One, 2. And another thing with most exercises, you don't want to lock out, because it's going to put undue stress on your joints, and that's really not what you want. You just like kind of bend it. Like when I was doing these, you don't want to come out and lock up. You just want to go right about there. Keep the elbows bent. It helps keep the stress in a good way on the shoulder itself. So, because that's the muscle you're trying to work. So yeah, that's another one of those general tips. You don't want to lock out. Like if you're doing squats, don't lock your legs out. If you want a good reason, a good example of why not to do that, look up like military, like when they do their attention, you know, when they're all standing marching, or not marching, but standing at attention, drill instructor or whoever's walking by in front of them, they know to bend their knees. If they don't know that, you will see them in some of those videos. Like if they're standing there too long and too tense, it cuts off blood pressure or blood flow, and they will pass out. Now, I'm not laughing at people in uniform. I'm just saying, like that's where you can see it happen. Just standing still, they lock their legs out and then whoosh, down. So that's kind of just one of those things to keep in your mind. Like always have that image. You lock out and you're lifting weights and you pass out. That's really bad, especially if you're holding them above your head or doing squats with no support. Not the situation you want to put yourself in. I hear you, puppy dog. I'll be done in a minute. I got 2 dogs. One of them is stoic, silent, doesn't make any noise unless the other one's barking at something. Then she goes and joins and barks. The other one is my little worrier. I think she's the smarter one. I just think she worries about all the problems of the universe. Constantly like, oh my God, this might happen, or what's going on, and I'm not in the room with him. Always whining. On cue, if you could hear it. I do have the door closed to try and drown that out, but the high pitchedness tends to come through. Alright, this is going to be my last set on these. Let's see if we can get 10 on it. 1, 2, 3, 7. Stick with me, people. 8, 9, 10. Whew. All right. That is going to do it for this episode of the NerdJock Gamer. I will be intermixing these with my gaming videos. They just won't be in the same video anymore. So we can concentrate on the fitness side as well as concentrating on the gaming side, you know, in their own realms there. So if you liked it, crush that like button with the fury of the hungry babies. And make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to share with your friends and family and people you don't even know. I don't care. So yeah, I look forward to your comments and your trolling below. And I'll see you in my next video.